Hey, what's up, YouTube? Give me a second. I gotta fix something, and then I'm about to go live on the TikTok. All right, let's go live on the TikTok. Time to do this shit. All right, let's get her done. Let's see. Rob Reiner, Trump, Stochastic. What is up, everybody? It is your boy, the liberal loudmouth. We are back again. It is my Monday. Welcome on, welcome back, welcome aboard. Do all the things. We're gonna get started here shortly. We are live. Matter of fact, let me see if I can't go into my own damn thing here. I don't think I can. Liberal loudmouth. Trying to see if I can like look up my own live. Liberal loudmouth. And like go into my live because I can't share it from, I use Live Studio and I can't really share it from there. So I'm trying to see if I can go in on my phone. Go in. Oh, well, look at that. That is so weird that I can actually go into my own live with my main account as I'm live. That is kind of neat. Little strange. So let me share it to all my peeps. Okay, cool. Well, that's a way to do it. I've never, since I started this show, I've never shared my show to anybody, I think, except for one time when I figured out the share button on my TikTok live studio. There's a little arrow at the top. I didn't even realize that this was like 2 weeks ago. So let me share to everybody, and if you guys want to, you can do the same. Who do I want to irritate that I know hates me? Let me share it to all my hate watchers so they can go and get that Christmas present. If you don't get that joke, go look at my profile and watch the last video I did. I'm sorry. I'm still laughing about that video, guys. That shit's fucking hilarious. All right, let me send it to all my haters. Haters gonna hate. All right. Laura, you can get one. Poetivity, you can get one. I'm live. Well, shit, I should have been doing this like the whole time. That's crazy. It's good to know. Good to know that I can do that. That's kind of weird. Anyway, hell, my numbers might have been better if I'd have done that this whole time. So we got a kind of a crazy show here for y'all. This world, this country is being led by a worthless piece of absolute garbage. And, you know, it's not even about this guy. It's just about the way that these people think they can do others. The fucking double standards that they have, the just rank hypocrisy. You know, I'm about to put up, and I'm sure you guys have seen this True Social post, but we're going to get deeper into it than just that True Social post, because this is, when I read the post, you know, that Donald Trump put out about Rob Reiner, my first thought was like, it almost sounds like he's saying that this is what should happen. Like he's linking these two things together. If you hate me, you're going to be unalived. And I mean, in the most vile way. And I'm sorry, but when Nick fucking Fuentes has more empathy and is a better person than you've got some serious problems. Like that's what the fuck, you know, is all I can say. So let's go ahead and we'll just get started with this fucking dotard in the middle of the night posting shitty things as he does. And, you know, for the record, none of this surprises me. We've been watching this man do this for like ever. Oh, don't forget, guys, get your heart me's, and thank you to the ones that have been gifting already. Go ahead and get your heart me's and get your points, all that good stuff. Let's read through this shit. This is Donald Trump, the President of the United States. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. What a load of hot fucking garbage this is. I mean, what the fuck, y'all? I'm reading this, and I'm like, he's literally saying, hey, if you don't like me, this is what you get. This is what you get. This is very subtle dog whistle stochastic terrorism. That's what it is. If you don't understand what stochastic terrorism is, it's essentially, stochastic means probability, right? It's the probability that something is going to happen. Right, the exact definition is like randomly determined, having distributive patterns where you can say this thing is going to happen, but we don't know who is going to do it. For example, if you go into a crowded theater, there's one exit, and you yell fire. You know that somebody is gonna, has a higher probability of being trampled. You don't know who's going to be trampled, and you don't know who the trampling is going to be. But you know that by the statement that you make, these things can happen. That's why it's called stochastic terrorism. Stochastic is a math term. And so this is what he's doing. And he's been doing it since he fucking ran for office. And he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's doing it on purpose. It also allows him to have plausible deniability. It's basically like trying to build this army of, hey, it's okay when you do these things, right? And that's what we've kind of been dealing with from day one. For example, let me pull this clip up. This is Donald Trump at one of the rallies. Let me see if I have the right one here. Yeah, I believe this is it. So let me just play this as an example of what I mean.
And it was I don't know, you say roughed up. He was so obnoxious and so loud. He was screaming. I had 10,000 people in the room yesterday, 10,000 people. And this guy started screaming by himself. And I don't know, rough up. Maybe he should have been roughed up, because it was absolutely disgusting what he was doing. This was not handled the way Bernie Sanders handled his problem, I will tell you. But I have a lot of fans, and they were not happy about it. And this was a very obnoxious guy who was a troublemaker who was looking to make trouble. But well, I didn't get to see the event.
And there you go. If you're obnoxious, you're a troublemaker. You, in his eyes, deserve to be treated this way. Just like, for example, he, at one point, let me pull this clip up. He once told everybody that if there was somebody throwing tomatoes, that they should get the crap knocked out of them, and that he would pay for their bills. I'm pretty sure I have that clip. I don't know why I can't find it. Let's see. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, right here.
So
right here. Let me pull this up.
Got a little notice in case you see the security guys. We have wonderful security guys. They said, Mr. Trump, there may be somebody with tomatoes in the audience.
Oh, no.
So if you see
oh, no, there's tomatoes in the audience.
Somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. I promise. I promise. There won't be so much because the courts agree with us, too.
Yeah, this is on purpose, guys. This is purposeful. That's why he did that and left that language up there. Now, thank God, the majority of Republicans I've seen that are responding to this post of his are like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? And maybe, just maybe, they'll start to see this man I don't know that he's evil, but he has nothing inside of him. He is a dead soul. This man has nothing but love for himself, and that's it. That's all it is. And if you don't like him, in Donald Trump's eyes, using his own words, he wants you to be injured, hurt, unalived. He said it over and over and over again, every single time. And I want to point something out. I'd like to play this video for you because the differences between Donald Trump and Rob Reiner, who was very critical of Donald Trump, is stark. Actually, before I get to that video, I actually have another one. Let me see. Yeah. So let's listen to the vitriol that was what Trump is alleging is TDS, right? He was so bad. He had Trump derangement syndrome. This man fucking hated me, and that was why he was unalived. Let's look at what Donald Trump is saying, right? Like that exists as TDS, because they're trying to make this a thing. It's like Kankel's McTaco tits. It's not a fucking thing, okay? Take your orange pill and be gone with you, okay? So let's listen to exactly what he believes is Trump derangement syndrome. And nothing I'm about to play is fucking untrue. This is Rob Reiner's, a compilation of clips here we got together.
We have a racist in the White House. We have a sexist in the White House, and he is tearing away at the fabric of our democracy.
Which is true. That is true statement. So we're just going to keep going. But again, this is just a compilation of the things that, oh my God, this man said bad words to me. He needs to be unalived by his kid.
Single most unqualified human being to ever assume the presidency of the United States. He's
fact.
Mentally unfit.
People always say, he could redo
Absolute
All in the
fact.
Family. I said, what do you mean? We're living it. We've got Archie in the White House. He always, when he quotes something that isn't him, and they're talking about Donald Trump, he goes, well, Donald Trump, bo, 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 bo. Every character is exactly the same. Well, Donald Trump, bo, 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 every time. And he always does that walk where he does like this, Always.
The problem he has, as far as I can see, is that he's a pathological liar.
People have to understand our democracy is being taken away from us. Make no mistake, we have a year before this country becomes a full-on autocracy.
This is not a political party anymore. I don't know what this is. I believe there's a Christian nationalist movement that's very frightening.
Do we want to continue democracy, or do we want to slip into fascism?
Nothing that man said was untrue. And yet Donald Trump, when he learns that this man and his wife was, brutally unalived by their own child, says that, well, that's because you had TDS, motherfucker. And yet his version of what is TDS is what you just heard, that clip. Because he was never violent towards Donald Trump. Rob Reiner would go to No King's protests. He would give speeches. He was just politically opposed to Donald Trump. He did not like Donald Trump, that's for sure. But based on his actions. Yet down in Donald Trump's mind, if you don't just, bend the knee, kiss the ring, and suck the cock, you are a terrible human. And I just, even people that have been just grossly supportive of Donald Trump, like James fucking Woods, even they're like, this is fucking gross. They've come out and said this about this stuff. And to really drive home the difference between Rob Reiner and Donald Trump and these sycophants that just keep kissing his ass, let me play this clip here because it really showcases the difference. Whenever Charlie Kirk was pew-pewed, this was what Rob Reiner said about it. And I love the double standard when, Republicans lost their ever-loving fucking minds on Twitter and elsewhere, on TikTok too, doxing people, trying to get your job taken because you pointed out things that Charlie Kirk has said in the past. Oh my God, you're denouncing or shitting on somebody who was just unalived, and yet their cult leader is doing the same thing. But listen to what Rob Reiner had to say about Charlie Kirk.
I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service, that the memorial they had, was exactly right.
Yeah. And there you go. That is, a normal human being person, like non-psychopathic, not crazy. But I'm about to play a clip of Nick Fuentes. And again, if Nick Fuentes has more compassion than you do, you are a fucking piece of shit, because Nick Fuentes is a piece of shit. And watching Nick Fuentes call out Donald Trump for saying that in the way that he did was wild. Like, I never really thought that Nick Fuentes and I would ever be able to agree on things, but here we fucking are. I mean, maybe this is Donald Trump bringing everybody together because he's so fucking vile. And then people, oh, you have Trump derangement syndrome. No, I just don't like it when people say that the reason that your son, stabbed you to unaliving, and your wife, right next to your wife, is because of, the hatred for this other person. Fucking vile shit. And these maggots that continue to support this, even after disagreeing with Trump, is weird, because you have to know that somebody who's willing to post something like that is just not a good person. They're just not good people. And so, when that's the person that you aspire to become and you look up to, what the fuck does that say about you? So let me post, let me play this clip here of fucking Nick Fuentes, which is so weird, but it needs to be played. It's a decent clip, actually. This came from a longer clip. I've edited it down a little bit. Fucking Nick Fuentes.
Forget for a moment that we are in a war. Someone gets murdered by their son. It's a horrific tragedy. This is a horrible story. Nobody deserves to be murdered, stabbed to death with their wife by their own son, who they tried to help, and their best friend discovers the corpses. It's despicable. And it's despicable to make fun of that. Look, somebody like George Bush passes away of old age at the very end, and you talk about his political legacy. That's one thing. Some guy, some producer, some civilian dies at the hands of his kid. It's such a grisly situation. It is objectively awful to make fun of that. That's my take on the Rob Reiner stabbing. No one should be making fun of that. It's not funny. Who could honest to God look at that and laugh? It just goes to show There was never anything there. There was never a center. It was always empty. The only thing that's left is whatever people are projecting onto it.
That's right.
Whether that's they still think they're fighting the left or whatever it is, the only thing that's left is what people still believe is there.
He's absolutely right there, because if you notice, every time Donald Trump said something just absolutely crazy, they'll come up into these panels and they will literally make excuses for him. Like he doesn't even have to do it. He can just say the most crazy thing. Oh no. That's not what he means. He speaks in this code language where, grab them by the pussy means to give women rights. That's no. That's really what that means. No, he was saying, they need to go see their gynecologist. That's why he said grab them by the pussy. He was talking about the speculum. Really, that's what he was. I mean, they will come up and say the most dumbass shit in defense of him. And just like fucking Fuentes says, there's nothing there. The only thing there is what people are attributing to that man and making up on the fly, because everything that I've seen that this guy is doing is not good for this country. It's not good for the country. It's not good for your fucking mental stability. It's not good for the sanity of this nation. It's not even good for the world's sanity. Because now these people are looking at Americans like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Why is he still there? And I can tell you why he's still here. Because shitwads like Mike Johnson refuse to hold this man accountable. They just refuse to do any goddamn thing. They won't call him out. They won't fucking say a bad word because they're afraid of what might happen to them. And when Donald Trump is out there saying, well, if you don't like me, you're going to get murdered, then maybe they have a fucking reason to be afraid. Because was this something that, Donald Trump put forward based on that fucking post? I mean, everybody has come out generally against what Donald Trump said, but he leaves it up there. He even doubled down on the shit the other day. He doubled down on it. He said it again. So I'm going to play this clip just to show you exactly why this fucking shit continues. It's crazy. Here's Mike Johnson getting asked some questions. This little grinder fucking watch your kids' corn habits, weirdo fucking Christian nationalist Mike Johnson.
You condemn Trump's post about Rob Reiner.
What are your thoughts about what President Trump said about Rob Reiner at his press conference today?
I don't do ongoing commentary about everything that's said by everybody in government every day.
We are the president of the United States.
Yeah, no shit.
Healthcare costs for the American people. They're very important votes, very important issues, and that's what we're focused on.
A lot of your members are criticizing him.
And these people are just as accountable for what's happening right here, like Mike Johnson. That man has to go down in history as, maybe equally one of the worst people to ever serve in office in this country. And there have been a lot of really bad people. That level of cuckery, because really, when it comes down to it, they bend over and they let him slide his fucking little lemon into them, and they beg for more because they don't want to get hit too hard. They don't want to get smacked around too hard. Please, Daddy, don't give it to me too rough. It's really gross to watch this, and I don't I just don't quite understand how we have accepted this, how anybody has accepted this, or how any of these fucking maggots can come out and think this is okay. I don't get it. If there is a MAGA in the audience that would love to come up and say their thoughts on it, especially if you disagree, I'd love to hear from you, because this shit's getting out of control. And now the mask is full off. He's got people in his comment section being like, dude, this is, here, we can go through some of them just to show you that even their own are like, what the fuck is this? So let's go through some of these. Sir, Mr. President, I love you. I support you 100%. I do not support this post. Highly inappropriate, and it puts us in their box. Tacky and tasteless. It puts us in their box. Bitch, please. As a MAGA, I've tried my best to support you every step of the way, but not this time. Every human, I repeat, every human deserves respect during something like this. I'm ashamed that you posted that. You must humble yourself and ask for forgiveness in what was a very huge lapse in judgment. And these people do they really think that this man is going to delete this post or come out and say, I'm sorry? Bullshit. He's already doubled down on it. And they're like, well, that's just how Trump is. I mean, it just keeps going. Mr. President, the man and his wife were brutally murdered. If you cannot say something nice about them, it's best just to not say anything at all. Who'd have thunk it? With respect, this isn't how Christians should speak about anyone living or unalived. What do you mean they do this all the time? And this man is no Christian. He is a fake. The left celebrated Charlie Kirk's unaliving. We mourn Rob Reiner's and his wife's death. We're not the same. Apparently, this person didn't actually read Trump's post because, yes, they are the same. If you continue to support that, you are exactly the same. I love you, but this is seriously distasteful. Take this post down, Mr. President. Okay, boss, the man was murdered along with his wife. You took this one too far. Not classy. Expect better of you. I mean, but, is he going to stop? No. But again, response after response after response, speaking ill of the dead, being unalived by their own son is something no human. I mean, it's just, nobody is really jumping on board with it. Some of them are. And Donald Trump will just double and triple down on it. It's like, I don't know what to say about it, and maybe he knows that it's also going to distract from other things that he's doing. For example, he just did an executive order saying that fent is a weapon of mass destruction. A rug that is used in hospital settings is a weapon of mass destruction. But from what I hear, and I can't reveal any sources, Bubba is apparently a weapon of ass destruction, and Donald Trump knows that. But we can't get into that too deep, like Bubba did with Trump. But hey, anyway, back to Rob Reiner. This, I don't know, it really is disturbing to me to watch this country just kind of gloss over it or whatever. Did he say anything about Australia? I haven't heard anything, and I'm going to get to the Australia issue here in a minute. Because, again, when I read his post, I don't think it's just triggering. I think that he's actually letting people know that when somebody disagrees with him, they will be unalived and he will accept it. And this also lets other people know that when they disagree with him, that it's acceptable. See, what happens here is, with stochastic terrorism specifically, they reach a group of people. They don't know who's going to do the bad deed, right? They dehumanize this other group of people. And they can't say who's going to do the bad deed. They don't say, hey, Joe Blow, go do this thing. But they know that the more that they throw the shit out there, the more likely, the more probable it is, stochastic, that they're going to cause violence, create violence, or harm somebody. And it's, and I think it's purposeful. That's why I wanted to talk about this first, because it's just so gross. I mean, we see it like with the pardons, with J6, same thing. It was a message to his people that if you commit acts of violence on my behalf, you will be rewarded. And here he's saying, this guy who never really did anything other than disagree, when you get murdered in such brutal fashion by your child, that's acceptable. And you may not have seen this, but let me play. This is from Dean Obeidallah. This is somebody actually that I listen to on. This is somebody I watch on XM radio from time to time when I'm driving. Let me play this. Many of you may not have seen this. This was I don't remember how long ago this was. It was some time ago. But this was a project that Rob Reiner was working on. And just listen.
Working on a project, and I haven't got the go-ahead yet, but I'm working on a project called The Spy and the Asset. And it's all about, Putin and Trump, and it takes them from their childhoods up to the point where they cross, and what happens to these two, and what happens to democracy as a result of this convergence. I want to do it because, to me, it's like the first cut at history. Right. We're taking the first real cut at history with it. This would be a multi-part series. It would be 10 to 13 episodes, a whole, to really look at their lives and how they intersected eventually.
So the guy that was going to do and working on a project to explain the convergence of Putin and Donald Trump just happens to be unalived by his child. I mean, people should ask questions. They should ask questions because Donald Trump will do whatever he wants because he knows it in his official capacity. He can get immunity. He knows that he can. And so I wouldn't put it past him to have engaged in shenanigans, we'll say. Now, I'm not saying that he did. I'm just saying it's very, interesting that somebody was going to tell the truth about Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin's love affair with each other, and that want for, this property that's worth almost nothing, and we're going to pay you $9 million for it, okay? I know you're bankrupt because you ran that casino right into the fucking ground like everything else. And they know that the guy is corrupt. He just steals money from people. Something else that Rob Reiner pointed out before is like he literally bilked entire life savings from people with Trump University. He steals from charities. This guy, there's nothing inside, just like Nick Fuentes said. There's fucking nothing there. He is a useless, worthless piece of fucking skin flesh. That's it. And I also found it very interesting, this little clip from Jimmy Kimmel the other day. Maybe you've seen it. I don't know. This is Michelle Obama on Jimmy Kimmel. Tell me if you catch it. The interesting part.
How long have you known the Reiners?
We've known them for many, many years, and we were supposed to be seeing them that night, last night. And we got the news. And let me just say this, unlike some people, Rob and Michelle Reiner are some of the most decent, courageous people you ever want to know.
So the Obamas were supposed to be at Rob Reiner's house that night. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? It is to me. But, I go down rabbit holes a lot. So, take that for what it's worth. There is another clip that I'd like to play, and it's generally just like a PSA. Yeah, Bunny, exactly where my mind went. Like, what was it too early? Did he miss the assignment? Because their son had dealt with a lot of addiction problems. And that's what this next clip is really going to be about. Because addiction really destroys a lot of families. And with him, his family had money, so it wasn't an issue of poverty. I don't know what the problems were, but I've seen many interviews with Nick, the son, and you could just tell there was just something off about this person. But this is kind of an ironic clip because I remember Rob Reiner from All in the Family. My mom used to watch that show all the time. He was Meathead, the Democrat. He was the liberal that was the, enemy of Archie Bunker. But I saw this morning, and I just wanted to play it just so people can understand, And Rob Reiner tried to do this, which is the ironic part.
This is Hugh. This is my son. He started on drugs when he was 16, and I can't tell you how much I hated it. I chased Hugh and his friends out of the house when I caught them smoking pot. But I was afraid to get too tough. Afraid that Hugh would shut me out and I would lose my relationship with my son. Drugs controlled his life. Drugs robbed him of his ability to love. Drugs killed his conscience. When his life became filled with horrifying hallucinations, he ended his life. Get between your kids and drugs any way you can if you want to save the kid's life.
Now that was an ad back in the day that they used, like a PSA basically. And Carol O'Connor dealt with that, and it a powerful ad, in my opinion. And ironically enough, Rob Reiner and them, they were on, they were on top of Nick. And I don't know if that hurt or not, but I'd seen this interview where Nick had said that he had been in and out of rehab 17 times since he was, I think he said 14 or 15. And when he said that, he was like 21. 17 times from 15 to 21. Like it was a serious problem. And, the family tried to resolve those issues. Even, had him directing a movie. The Charlie, What About Charlie movie, basically based on his life. But, it really is sad. And then, so when you've got this situation it was already bad to begin with and it's just made worse, then Donald Trump has to just come in there and just be Donald Trump. And it doesn't surprise me at all. It is what it is. But it just speaks to, and I hope that MAGA and Republicans, just conservatives in general, will start to see what we're seeing, what we've been seeing. Because Democrats have seen this from day one. They may not have. They were able to just, push it off to the side. And surely at some point you can't push it off anymore. Now, let me do a quick PSA before we switch gears a little bit. And if you'd like to come up and have any comments about Rob in this situation, you're welcome to. But I am about to discuss the Australia attack. So if you'd like to speak on that, you're welcome to request up. It's been an hour. I've had, 50 so people in here and not a single request. So if you'd like to be up, that's, now is that time. I do have a gifting goal of Sweaty Teddy. Sweaty Teddy. Why does that make me think of Donald Trump and Bubba? I don't know. But Sweaty Teddies, I'm looking for 50 of them. And so, thank you guys. And real quick, let me give a shout out to the gifters. Jussie is gifter number 1. Lonnie, gifter number 2. Jane Thankinson, interesting, number 3. Jules, number 4. And Bunny, you are number 5. I appreciate all of those gifts. And keep in mind, guys, that you can send some love offerings or just general support to Crash App and or Vimo. That's $LibLoudMouth or at LibLoudMouth, respectively. And let me check and see if anybody has sent any. Justin, what the hell is this? Oh, what the fuck? Pay over time. Oh, okay. No. Okay, so far nothing, but that's okay. You guys can do that on your own. Oh, I saw you request up. If you'd like to come back, you're welcome to. Now, with that, there are some very weird things. I did a video about the Australia attack already. So, maybe some of y'all's that follow me know generally what I'm about to say. I'm not buying what they're selling, right? It's just so convenient, and I'm going to, instead of, well, maybe I'll pull up the original clips. Because then I can just, let's see here, this fucking piece of, where is it at? Okay, so, recognition. Okay, so let me play this
Today
clip
I can
here.
confirm that at the 80th session...
God damn it. Let me pull this up real quick. So this was 6 months ago, I think, August 11th. It appears, yeah, so August 11th, whatever that is, 4 months ago.
Of the United Nations General Assembly in September, Australia will recognise the state of Palestine. Australia will recognise the right of the Palestinian people to a state of their own, predicated on the commitments Australia has received from the Palestinian Authority. We will work with the international community to make this right a reality.
All right, so they had declared, and other countries did too, that Palestine, they're recognizing them as a state, which is a big deal. And that really pisses Israel off. Because to them, anytime you have any criticism, it's like they want you to believe that now they're reliving the Holocaust, right? It's any slight against that nation, and not even just the people, but that nation, it's the fucking worst thing that you could ever do to them. And so they treat all of them as if you are a mortal enemy of them, and that you want to unalive them. That, like, generally speaking, that's the read I have on the way that they think about it. But I want to point something out before I get to what Benjamin Netanyahu said in response to the attack. I can't show the videos of the attack on the lives. You can do videos about them, but you can't show them on the lives. It'll take the shit down. So I'm just not gonna worry about playing it. I'm sure we've all seen it. The coverage has been everywhere. But I do want to play this video because this speaks
CIA
to
memos.
What Israel has done in the past, and why when I heard this story, I'm like, okay, you know, I don't trust these governments anyway, you know, so take that for what it's worth. Just listen to what Israel can do.
CIA memos describe how Mossad agents posed as U.S. intelligence agents to make contact with a Pakistani organization known as Jindallah. Members of the group, which is on the U.S. terrorist list, were then recruited to launch attacks on targets within Iran. Several Jindallah attacks in Iran took place between 2007 and 2009. The CIA memos were said to have outraged the previous president, George W. Bush. 4 Iranian nuclear scientists have been assassinated within the last 2 years. The Iranians have believed that the U.S. was somehow involved in this. The U.S. has denied its involvement. How important is the release of these memos?
It's crucial because it shows that the United States has not been lying. We do not target foreign nationals, especially officials of a foreign government, and especially considering the sensitivity of our relationship with Iran, we wouldn't do this. Of course, it's always been out there that we were part of this with Israel. This report today in Foreign Policy shows that's simply not the case.
Yeah, so what they did was they posed as Americans, American intelligence operatives, and recruited terrorists from Pakistan. And in doing that, they then sent those terrorists that they recruited and paid well. I'm sure their families were taken care of by Israel, you know, the whole deal. And they went into Iran and started unaliving their nuclear scientists and people. They went on a terror campaign inside Iran. And that was led by Israel, who tried to blame it on the United States. This was back in 2007, 2008. And just listen what this guy is about to say, and it'll tell you exactly how this U.S. government actually knows what Israel is willing to fucking do. Just take a listen.
If this is all true, that means Israel essentially involved the United States in this covert operation, covert war, without the United States being aware of it. What did that do, and what does that do to U.S.-Israeli relations?
This has been a problem between the U.S. and Israel before. Israel has done this before. I know of a report very widely accepted here in the U.S. of Israel Mossad agents actually in the United States recruiting American Muslims. Accepted here in the U.S. of Israel Mossad agents actually in the United States recruiting American Muslims.
So they came into the United States and recruited American Muslims for whatever terrorist operation that they wanted. And keep in mind, we see these Zios all the time come up on this panel and scream about how Muslims are terrible, and you get these, MAGAs, they think that Muslims are going to unalive your babies, oh my God, the Muslims are under your cribs, they're under the fucking sink, they're in your closets, be careful. And this rhetoric, this propaganda is pushed by Israel. They need you to look at another boogeyman. And because Israel is now losing the fucking propaganda war, they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that they don't lose that war. Just like Netanyahu said, it's a weapon of war. He referred to TikTok and Twitter as a weapon of war. So, we'll just finish this off here.
And the FBI and the intelligence agencies have struck back very harshly against Israel. Long term, I don't believe that this will break, obviously won't break the U.S.-Israeli relationship. There will be some bumps in the road of the U.S.-Israeli relationship.
In the road.
But long term, I don't think it has a long.
Some bumps in the road from a country who claimed to be American intelligence, recruited terrorists, and went and did terrorist operations in another nation. And that's a bump in the road. I mean, he's right. I don't think he wants it to be true, but he's right. And that's a bump in the road. Oh, you unalived 30 fucking U.S. soldiers, and you knew that it was U.S. soldiers, and you unalived them anyway. Just a bump in the road. It's just a bump in the road. Not a big deal. I mean, what's 30 soldiers, right? This is weird. And even George Bush was pissed about, finding out, trying to blame the United States for what was going on. And they just do nothing. And why? I think they're just fucking afraid of these people. They know what Israel is capable of doing. And I mean, probably good reason. Look at the fucking pager attack.
You mentioned something in your article. You said that President Bush went ballistic when he was briefed on this. But then according to a senior administration official, in the end, it was, quote, easier to do nothing than rock the boat.
It was easier to do nothing than rock the boat. You know, we had a president once that rocked that boat, and his brains ended up in the back seat and all over the trunk of the vehicle with his wife trying to climb out of the fucking car. Yeah. So maybe that's why they don't want to rock the boat. Maybe. Just maybe. I'm not saying they did it. I'm just saying when you rock that boat, things seem to happen. They always seem to happen. And so now it gets to this fucking evil piece of human filth, Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's get, let me pull that clip up. Where the fuck is mine? There it is. Let me pull this clip up. Albanese criticism. Let's see. Where the fuck is it? Here we go.
About 4 months.
This is him in response to the, I believe, 15 people, maybe more now, that were pew-pewed by these two, terrorists, you can call them. Listen to this shit. This fucking man.
Months ago, I sent Prime Minister Albanese of Australia a letter in which I gave him warning that the Australian...
For the record, real quick, your live is flagged for misinformation. Repeated violations could result in your live being discontinued. Live restricted for some audiences. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason, misinformation. Not a fucking thing that I've said is misinformation. Hell, I've been sitting here playing clips to all of you this whole time. So, what was already a low number show is now going to... Oh... Okay, so I just realized I'm still live on YouTube, so forgive me. They bananaed me, and that's why I went blank. I forgot I was still streaming. So, guys, look, this is what they do, okay? I'm still live on YouTube. All right. So give me just a second, guys, if there's anybody watching, and I don't know that there is. If there's anybody watching, yeah, there's nobody watching, but I'm going to be doing the appeal. I'll go through that process. I'm going to leave this shit up. Let's see here. Give me just a second. All right. So I've appealed that. Appeal and review. And they're probably not going to do it. But either way, okay. So the point that I was making essentially is that I'll go ahead and just play the rest of the fucking clip. Let me start over. Fuck it.
4 months ago,
fuck these bitches.
I sent Prime Minister Albanese of Australia a letter,
and
I gave him warning that the Australian government's policy was promoting and encouraging anti-Semitism in Australia. I wrote, "Your call for a Palestinian state pours fuel on the anti-Semitic fire. It rewards Hamas terrorism. It emboldens those who menace Australian Jews and encourages the Jew hatred now stalking your streets. Anti-Semitism is a cancer. It spreads when leaders stay silent. It retreats when leaders act. I call upon you to replace weakness with action, appeasement with resolve. Instead, Prime Minister, you replaced weakness with weakness and appeasement with more appeasement. Your government did nothing to stop the spread of anti-Semitism in Australia. You did nothing to curb the cancer cells that were growing inside your country. You took no action. You let the disease spread. And the result is the horrific attacks on Jews we saw today. History will not forgive hesitation and weakness. It will honor action and strength. That's what Israel expects of each of your governments in the West and elsewhere."
Listen to that. That's what our government expects from the governments in the West. These people are full of shit. They think that they are the greatest, most wonderful fucking gifts that God gave the entire earth. This is what we expect from you. And maybe that's why George Bush knew that it was better to just let it go than to rock the boat. This is wild. Now, guys, on YouTube, I can say whatever the fuck I want to. And give me a second. What I'm going to do, and I can see your chat for the record. You guys send the chats, do the likes, share this fucking shit out. I'm going to do a quick YouTube video because I can do a YouTube video, and I'm just going to send the motherfuckers over here. And thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And I think if you talk in the chat, it'll actually help the algorithm. These cocksucking motherfuckers. You may lose access to your account. Your account has multiple violations. So another violation could result in a ban from TikTok. They're going to get me. They're going to get my account. First warning, account strike. You received a strike on your account for violating our community guideline. You have multiple strikes on your account for violating community guidelines. Another similar violation could result in account ban. Content violation streamed on 12/16 and another one on 11/20. I don't even know what that means. Let's see here. Anyway, fuck these bitches. What's up, guys? TikTok took me down. They bananaed me for 3 days, but I'm still fucking live. I never stopped the stream. I'm over on YouTube. Look up Liberal Loudmouth on YouTube. fuck these cocksucking censor fuckwits and just come over there and watch the show over there. And matter of fact, I can even fucking get my StreamYard going and still have panelists because fuck TikTok. All right. Let's see if they'll give me a fucking community guidelines violation for that. I won't even post anything. Fuck this shit. This is crazy. Lonnie B, what's up? It's so hard for me to find the live stream on YouTube. I don't know what to do, guys. Anyway, I had a direction in mind. Now I'm not even sure what the fuck I was talking about. But TikTok is guys, it's just toxic. Like the other day, this group of creators that and now I have proof that they have been coming after me for a long time. So there is a group of, I don't know, probably 200 people, if not more, that will go around and just report, and I assume they're reporting, and do shit like this. Because now I have screenshots. I have evidence proving what I was believing to be true this whole time. So they're not going to stop. And now they're latching onto other people. They're starting to attack other people. In this particular creator, he had this guy had a background. He wonders, why can't I get my numbers up? He put a fucking background. All mega men hate women, right? This is what it said, with a picture of a dude about to fucking hit a woman in the face. And I find this so shitty because, look, this whole time I've been trying to boost numbers by having some slight rage bait, but then having good conversations when they come on here, and I've done it. I've had several Republicans that have gotten off the fucking MAGA train. But these people, they're not here for that. They don't want to have decent conversations. They don't want to have real, actual, good, fucking, solid conversations. They don't. They're there to for self-aggrandizement. They're there to make themselves feel like they're, oh, look at me, I'm part of some group. Or they're fucking getting paid by fucking Israel. And here's another thing. I can actually smoke on this bitch, I'm pretty sure. We'll find out if I get a fucking violation or not. Since I ain't on TikTok, fuck them. So, I don't really know what to do from here other than to just get my YouTube going and ask that you guys come over here and we can just do it this way. Because I do have a way that I can host panelists on YouTube. It's a roundabout way. But nobody was coming up on TikTok anyway. I was there for over an hour? Not a single person requested it. Well, I requested up and then immediately dropped down. So what do? You keep plugging away, but it's like they've, I don't know, come together to purposely hurt me because the big bad liberal loudmouth, he's changing Republicans' minds, and we don't want that. They don't want people to bring people together. They don't want it. They want division. If I wasn't at work, I'd be up. Yeah. And guys, I can just respond to your comments too. Banned, yes, with 7,000 ends. I see that. Hey, everyone, Lonnie B, it's so hard for me to find the lie. I mean, it's cool, better than nothing. And yes, TikTok is toxic. It's absolutely toxic. Like, do likes matter here as much? Probably. They probably do. I imagine so. TikTok is done, I fear. Yeah. And then somebody came out, I seen a video the other day, and they were like, TikTok actually didn't, Oracle didn't actually take over TikTok. And I'm like, I don't know. After that, with Oracle finalizing that deal, TikTok changed. Like, you started getting fucking violations left and goddamn right. You talk about Israel in any fucking way whatsoever. And see, China is not really cozy with Israel, right? We've seen Chinese nationals come out and be like, look, your fucking propaganda doesn't work anymore. So this weird ass shit, what misinformation violation? I don't fucking get it. Let me check How do you log in? So it'll be a link. It'll be a link that you go to, but I think if I'd have to restart the whole stream in order to get it to work because it streams to YouTube. But right here, the OBS I'm using is what's streaming to YouTube. So at this moment, I won't be able to have any guests on, but that's okay. I actually hadn't planned on having any guests up. Yeah, appeal not approved. So they did not approve my appeal. So let me send this over to my agent, who, by the way, was suggested to me by the same person that is the creator that is someone else got taken down yesterday for the Australia attack. Did you appeal? Well, of course I appealed. Yes. Now I've got to send this in. Not approved. So let's let her do her shit. You know. Well, right. Yes. Paul. That was my thought. But this person has helped me in the past. So I don't know, but the same person that is coming after me is the one that suggested this person. So take that for what it is. I'm not going to name the person because it really doesn't matter. But the bad thing is that if I were to get out of the agency that I'm on, you have to be without an agent for like 30 days. And that, I don't think she's doing anything wrong. I don't think she's trying to harm me. She's, been there. So I'm not going to make that leap. But it is a little, kind of sucky. Anyway, so back to it. Let me, I had played, what was the last thing I played? The fucking Benjamin Netanyahu little cocksucker. Where is my fucking folder? Here we go. Okay, so now I'm all discombobulated, but we'll get back on track. So Benjamin Netanyahu, I played that clip. It's, he's basically saying, see, you didn't do what I told you, and now look. They're pew-pewing us. And look, I wouldn't put it past Benjamin Netanyahu to unalive Jewish people somewhere in the world to pursue the agenda. I mean, I just wouldn't put it past them at all. They attacked themselves on fucking October 7th. And that's fact. Their tanks were firing into the houses and then blaming it on these, terrorists with fucking, these pew-pews. Oh, look at all the damage. Look at the hole in the wall in the house that was done by guns. Right. No, it's fucking tank shells. Anyway, we have currently 6 concurrent viewers. So thank you all for coming over here and not leaving me alone by myself. Jules, yeah, welcome in. Retracted. Paul Ortiz said message retracted. I don't know what message. I wish it would almost doxed. You almost doxed yourself. Well, don't do that, okay? Because the hate watchers, and you know what? Real quick, if you haven't seen this clip, I'm going to play it because I imagine they're probably still watching. So to all you cunts out there that hate watch me and fucking love me, here, this is for you. For all the females that hate watch me, and I know you love me, that's a great Christmas gift for you, so you can use that while you watch the show and hate me. Oh, liberal, I can't stand you anymore, liberal. Oh. Fuck these people, man. It's just nonstop. And then, the drama is fucking real on TikTok, man. It just, I don't know, it's kind of sad that it's gotten so petty. These people are just, it's like, why won't he just do what we tell him to do? It's real simple. I speak and you listen, motherfucker. Like, that's to me what it boils down to. It's almost like, fucking Israel. I speak and you do what we say. And if you don't, well, I wonder where those 2 people came from. And now they're investigating. For the record, the pew-pewers had gone to the Philippines like a month before. So they're trying to figure out what it was. Now, there are videos of them tying to this Dawa, like Bank Street shit, where they go around preaching, Muslim stuff. But I don't think Israel realized that if they did that, so let's assume that is true, right? That Israel recruited these people to have them do that. I don't think they realized that a fucking Muslim hero would come out, an unarmed man, and disarm somebody who is actively firing on them to his own detriment. He was shot multiple times, I believe. I don't think they saw that coming because the propaganda was like, oh my God, the Muslims are bad. The Muslims are bad. And then it turns out, well, it was a Muslim person who I believe he had just finished praying too. Came out and had more nuts than anybody else did. Crazy, right? It takes all of that propaganda and washes it. It's like a wash. These people did something bad in the name of something else, and this other guy did something good in the name of doing something good. Need to be able to fit 2 fingers, nerd bunnies. Bunny. Oh my God. That's fucking funny. Can I try an old live link to see if it works? I don't know if it'll work because I don't have it open. But again, for the StreamYard, I'll have to shut this live down and then go to StreamYard. And then start the live from there because StreamYard itself streams into YouTube. But what I'm on right now is streaming to YouTube, and I can't stream 2 different things into YouTube. Like it just won't work that way. Anyway, so I've got that. Let me go back to what the fuck was it? There was something else that I was gonna play. Oh yeah, here's the Australian.
Israel kills Palestinian men, women, and children, and then they.
Let me play this real quick. This is actually part of, why I believe that Israel would really fucking want something to happen to them.
Israel kills Palestinian men, women, and children, and then they look around the world and they don't receive a single sanction to stop. They are emboldened and they keep acting. I mean, this motion is a joke. It is a joke. As part of a peace process. What peace process? Israel is carrying out a genocide. Israel is carrying out a genocide in Gaza. It's not a peace process. Why is it that 146 countries could find it within their hearts to recognise Palestine right now? Why is it that the Australian government refuses? And how is it that when a Labor senator, Senator Payman, who had the principles and the courage to cross the floor to vote with the Greens to immediately recognise Palestine, why is it that Senator Payman faced more sanctions than Labor has dished out against Israel? What do you all do? What does this Labor government do? They can recognise Israel, but they can't immediately recognise Palestine. You can't end Tuwain's arms trade. You can't cancel the Elbit Systems contract. You can't sanction Israel. And you should all be deeply, deeply ashamed.
Yep. The passion in that guy's voice is, I think, collectively what the world is screaming about right now. Because I mean, you're seeing it with your own eyes. And then when you go to speak on it on these platforms, they'll, attack you. They'll get your wife fired. They'll fucking get your money accounts taken down. They will continue to come after you day after day after day after day. This is what they do. That's why I told Connor, you're going to have to put a fucking boom boom in my goddamn car and kill me. Because, like, at one point, I was just going to stop doing the show, just like last week, I think. I'd gone live, and I'm like, I'm just, but then they just keep fucking with me, and it's like, you know what? I will cut off my leg just despite the fact that you told me that I can't or shouldn't. So not wanting to capitulate to anybody is driving me forward, guys. It really is. Because I'm just always been that way. I think it's because of my childhood, having to grow up and never being able to do anything because the moment you do something, you get the fuck beat out of you or whatever, having absolutely no control over your own choices in what you do, out of fear of being harmed, led to me just being like, fuck you. And they can't stand it because they're not like that. They're sheep. They follow the leader. That's what these people do. They follow the fucking leader, and it really is gross. And they'll go after anybody that doesn't get on board their Kool-Aid train. And these are self-proclaimed liberals. They're liberals, these people doing this to other liberals. It's wild. This is literally the reason that Donald Trump is in office right now. Because they did this when Hillary Clinton was running, this worthless piece of garbage, Hillary Clinton. And I'll say it again. And see, this is something Paula, whenever Paula was up on the show, the only times that we would really argue, and she would get fucking irate, pissed, and crash out, was when we talked about Hillary. She was a sycophant for Hillary. Hillary's a sycophant for Israel. Hillary's a sycophant for the corporate interests. Hillary's a sycophant for everybody except for the people of the United States. And these people just attacked, even during the primary, attacked anybody that didn't support her. And then they blamed her loss on the Bernie Bros. Like, no, bitch, I owe you nothing. I owe you absolutely nothing. You don't get my fucking vote just because I'm a Democrat and I agree with some of your fucking policies. You've got to earn that shit. And your dumbass stealing from Haitians, laughing about somebody getting raped with a fucking bayonet, showing how disgusting you are, hiding all your goddamn emails, and for all I know, selling fucking state secrets through your Clinton Foundation and shit. Why in the fuck would I do that? And I don't know if you guys have gone down the rabbit hole of the body count. The Hillary Clinton body list or whatever they called it. Now, I'm not saying that any of that is true, but it's a lot of fucking people, y'all. It's a lot of people. And I just, no. And they just, still to this very day, these same people bitched and moaned about Bernie supporters, which I find ironic because when they speak on the panels, for example, Paula, almost all of their belief systems, their ideologies, mimic that of Bernie Sanders. They agree with Bernie Sanders on almost everything. And yet turn around and bitch at and complain to these Bernie bros. And so then they start unaliving the party. You get on board or we will attack you. They've been doing it since as far back as 2016, from my estimation. That's how long they've been doing this shit. And they continue to do it to this goddamn very day. And so Democrats are fucked, guys. This party's fucked because those people are still running shit. And they still have the ability to get you taken down in a moment's notice. That's the control that they have. And so Democrats saying, oh, we're better, we're this, we're that. No. We can't even get our own house in order. We can't. And this is why we have to reach out to these fucking MAGA people who are teetering on the edge because they're not all crazy. And the middle is going to have to come together. The ones that not necessarily middle ideologically, but middle of the road as it relates to seeing what these other people are doing. It's fascism on both ends. You got blue fascism and red fascism. Whenever you demand that somebody does whatever you want because you told them to do it and you believe yourself to be superior to them, that's fucking fascist. That's dictatorship. That's fuck you. Do what I say, not what I do. And we saw today a great example of that. This group of fucking people who claim to be liberals, who will just keep on and keep on 8 months later until they win, right? It's gross, and I'm not sure, y'all. I'm not sure we're going to make it out. because not enough people are calling it out. And they, for whatever reason, have this sick fucking... I mean, think about this. You got a fucking Federal Reserve banker and a goddamn lobbyist. This man is a lobbyist, came up on my panel once, and y'all know who I'm talking about. Defending lobbyists. This dude got pissed that I had an issue with lobbyists. Oh, lobbyists aren't bad people. I'm sorry, what? You need lobbyists in order for the government to function. This is what this lobbyist tells me. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck kind of Twilight Zone are we talking? You do realize you're up on the liberal loudmouth show, right? Like, but here he is debating and defending and protecting lobbyists while claiming to be a Marxist. You know, it was, you don't know who that was. That motherfucker knows who he is. And he's watching. He will watch. He'll see it. I know he will. You know who you are, you little scumbag. Come up here. I'm a Marxist, but I think we really need lobbyists. His argument was because lobbyists are the experts, right? They're the doctors, they're the engineers, they are the researchers. They're all the great things that we know. And it allows our congressional, our representatives, what have you, to reach out to them to get information in order to write good legislation. I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? We already pay experts, doctors, engineers, fucking architects. I mean, you go down the list. We already have organizations in the government paid specifically to be available as a resource to our representatives. We don't need the lobbyists. And of course, he got cooked in that debate. And, maybe that's what got him all butthurt. Marxist. Get the fuck out of here with that Marxist. Fucking, they don't even know what the fuck that is, I don't think. And I think the guy's full of shit. But again, Democrats are going to have to get their shit together. We can't keep voting these people in. We just can't. We can't do it anymore. They're losing. Because, think about it. Think about it this way. If Gavin Newsom gets into office, he's going to kick that can right down the road. So nothing is going to change. Nothing substantive. No large changes. Now, I could be wrong. I believe the same about Joe Biden. He turned out to be a lot more progressive than I thought he would. It's possible. But based on his history, he's a corporatist. He's a neoliberal, just like fucking the Clintons and Obama and the rest of them. And so if he kicks that can down the road, what do you think that's going to do to Democrats? The ones that are actually liberal, the ones that are actually progressive. It's going to cause disillusionment. They're going to be like, well, it doesn't fucking matter who I vote for. So either they check out and they stop voting, and then, whoever gets the most AI surveillance wins, or they just start voting for the worst fucking horrific people in order to accelerate the destruction of this country. And that's what you'll end up with. And I know that sounds crazy, but I believe that's true. Let's see. Queen Mommy says they only support what they are getting from the system. That's why he's for the lobbyist. Yeah. Yeah, if it's good for me, because these Democrats will lie right to your face. Like one of them in particular claims to be this great and wonderful progressive liberal, uses the goddamn N-word in private. While everybody calls me a fucking racist, says I hate trans people. These people that are engaging amongst those other people calling me racist and shit use the N-word in private. With the hard ER, for the record. It's like, oh, are we cool like that? Nah, bitch. We ain't cool like that. Queen says we need to take time and dig into the people who we're voting for. Yeah, we do. I really, honestly, I'd like to see the Australian way of politics. Because they're like, it's fucking 2 months or whatever, 30 days, whatever it is, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. It's short, bam, you get in, you get out. and everybody has to vote. It's mandatory to vote. We don't have these protracted 2-year fucking, crap and bullshit, because then you don't get all this rhetoric that, crap that gets spewed on social media over the course of 2 years, and things get misinterpreted or mischaracterized over the course of 2 years. And then 2 years later, somebody really fucking remember what it says, or they've scrubbed the internet of the original. It's hard to find the original. You can only find copies of what it was when somebody posted it and they were commenting on it. Let's see, Angel Eye. If you get a liberal Trump with morals, then they win. I think people feel like we're at war and don't want their candidate to hold anything back. Be unapologetically you. Yeah, I mean, people are tired of the old way of politics for sure, because it's not working. If those people who come across as professionals, if they actually had fixed shit, then maybe wouldn't be here in the first place. But instead, they're too busy doing weird shit on behalf of Israel, invading countries, killing fucking hundreds of thousands of innocent people halfway across the globe for some fucking oil agenda. Or you can't back off of the dollar as the reserve currency. You've got to trade all your oil in the reserve currency. And attack them and do all this crazy fucking shit. Yeah, people are done with it. Sanders was unapologetically himself ever since he was in college. That's right. Ever since he was in college when he got arrested protesting. The most pure politician that I've ever seen. And those people, the ones that just, were attacking me just constantly, they hated that. They hated it. Because again, unflappability is something they don't like. They want somebody they can control. They want somebody they can manipulate. It makes their lives easier. It may hurt everybody else, but it makes their lives easier. And what I notice is a lot of these people, they're not poor people. They have a lot of money. And so I don't know if they thought themselves superior prior to getting money, or they always had money, or they didn't have money and then got more money, and because of that think that they know better. I don't know what it is, but it's generally these rich people who don't actually suffer, right? They don't really suffer in any real way. I saw this video, this live stream of this gay couple, and they were complaining about how bad the United States was, and so now they're expats. And they're doing this tour of this fucking house. They're talking about $3,000 a month equivalent, and it was in Thailand. They're now paying $3,000 US dollars a month for this 4,500 square foot property. And they had come from a place in the US, it was $6,000 a month. And I'm like, bro, most people don't even make $6,000 a month, let alone have that be their fucking rent or mortgage. And they just complain, oh my God, it was so bad. It was so bad, and I'm not going to stand around and try to fix it. I'm going to fucking take my money and I'm going to leave. I can kind of understand it because they were gay. I get that, but you were doing very well for yourself. And maybe that's me being petty, looking at them what are you, okay. I don't know. It's crazy, but we gotta do something. And if I don't know if most of you are at work or whatever, but commenting does push this out onto YouTube. So you guys are welcome to jump in there and say shit. Sanders is on. Same goes for Maddie. Oh, Massey. Yeah. No, Massey called out Donald Trump's fucking bullshit with Rob Reiner. I don't understand any of that shit. That's crazy shit. Let me so one thing I was going to bring up, and I was going to be hesitant about it anyway, but I've got it pulled up here. I actually did a search because I don't buy the official narrative that these two people just, kind of out of nowhere did this. So this tragedy happened on Sunday, December 14th at 6:45 p.m. And so I'm sure you've seen some of these clips, right, where they have the Google Trends, right? So I did a search. Naveed Akram from Israel in the past 7 days, right? Now look at this. Nothing. Now I went back for a full 5 years and there was like nothing for 5 years. And then here, 22, December 13th, 4 a.m. And this is the actual Google Trends. This isn't just a screenshot. I'm literally here. It even shows the regions. So before this tragedy struck, let me see, got to get it. You see right here, the search happened, right? And then a little bit later, nothing. And then again at 4 p.m. on December 13th, you get a few more. And then December 14th at 4 a.m. Now, this would have happened 6:45 in Australia time would have been, I think, 9:45 a.m. on the same day in Israel. I think they're like 9 hours behind, or something like that. So the searches started really skyrocketing there. And then obviously whenever it happens, you get a bunch of them. So it's just kind of weird. And actually, I can pull this up for the past, we'll just do 12 months. Nothing. Until December 13th. And that's for past year. So when you see those screenshots, just know that they are showing you accurate stuff. And how Google does that is it's, I believe, based on UTC time or something. Or, if you do locality, it'll base it off of the time zone of that location. In this instance was Israel. So those times are based on Israel's time, right? And then based on those locations. So somebody was doing searches at that time. It's not conspiracy. That actually happened. You can go to the Google Trends right now and look it up yourself. Let's see. They struggled to get money, and now they think they made it, so they talk down on their own struggles. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. Or they just like to control people. Maybe that's what it is. That's certainly possible. So I did tell my agent about it. And let's see if she hasn't said anything yet. So we'll see. But anyway, well, I'm just going to go ahead and shut it down now, guys. I appreciate it. I will go live tomorrow even if I'm banned. I'm probably just going to go live here on YouTube. I may simulcast it onto my alt. I may not, because it'd be nice to just be able to fucking listen or speak without having to fucking make up stupid ass words. Where you can say cocksucker, but you can't say election. You can say erection, you can say ass fuck, but you can't say rigged election. Weird. It's all fucking weird. TikTok is a fucking joke. It's getting worse. So stupid. Why would people be searching for people we don't know exist? Exactly, Queen. I'll be up tomorrow. TikTok is a joke. Sorry. Yeah, definitely, Scott. Happy to see you streaming right on point this morning. I appreciate it, Angel. And who knows what I'll talk about tomorrow? I don't fucking know. I expected that somebody would come up, and that's another thing. Like I'm in a weird space with my algorithm, I guess, where because I started blocking all of those people, and it might take a week for TikTok to figure out where to put me, where to push me. But nobody coming up is just a little odd, but that's okay, because half the people that come up are fucking boring anyway. I owe you an argument, but oddly agreeing with you lately, and I don't like it. That's what I said about Nick Fuentes. Matter of fact, No, I better not play that because TikTok fucking YouTube doesn't like. I'm more likely to get a copyright violation on YouTube than I will on TikTok. So that's a trade-off, but it makes sense. But as long as I'm like editing shit and changing it up or whatever, it shouldn't be a problem necessarily. Fair use and all. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. 3 hours today? Roughly 9, 10, no, 2 hours. Not even 2 hours. Damn. That sucks. All right, well, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys swapping over, and maybe I'll do a video on TikTok later. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably just start streaming all my fucking content here because fuck TikTok. All right, guys, have a good one. Peace.